Selecting an insurance provider for your business is a big decision.
We know how important your company is to the community.
Alford & Associates can manage your insurance. It's our job.
Alford & Associates, benefiting your employees and protecting your business.
Thanks again for joining us for this week's episode of Louisiana and Beyond.
And in this week's program, we continue our look at Louisiana's Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority, its origins, its budget, and some of its major projects.
And tonight we feature comments from Michael Hare, Bill Hidalgo, Mike Precato, Tony Alford, and Mitch Mormoy.
In addition, we'll also hear from Gordy Dove, Angela Hidalgo, and Mark Prejean.
And in our guest segment this week, we will learn more about the early days and bright future of Crosby Tugs from Corey Keefe.
And as we do every week, we appreciate your support of the program. Stay with us as we learn more about CPRA on Louisiana and Beyond.
Louisiana and Beyond is brought to you in part by Edison Schwest Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Nichols State University, and Sea Level Construction.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
In a world where you can choose to be anything, who do you choose to be? At Nichols State University, with over 70 distinct degree programs, we believe our students can be anything. Be an artist, a chef, a journalist, an educator, a lifesaver. But no matter what you choose to be a colonel. Be more at Nichols State University.
Welcome back to Louisiana and Beyond as we continue our exploration of CPRA in this week's program.
And we kick off the show with Executive Director Michael Hare, who explains how the organization's board of directors is constituted.
Obviously, our board is directed under statute, and we're very unique in how we sit under the governor's office. And so obviously Chairman Dove, as the chairman of the CPRA board in his role as the executive assistant to the governor for coastal activities. That board is comprised of members that are both dedicated to us by the legislature, several key agencies, as well as regional representatives from around the coast. So as the executive director, I then end up reporting to them on a monthly basis the activities of our agency, and we're making sure that we have that true coast-wide comprehensive view of everything we're trying to do along the coast to satisfy not only the legislature, but different federal agencies, state partners, and local constituents represented by their regional representatives.
One of the things I felt that in order for us to be able to do the things we needed to do in St. Mary Parish, the levee district, not talking about any other drainage districts or anything, but the levee district, we had to have a member on the CPRA board. Okay, so I kept putting my name up, and eventually was selected to be on the board. So been on the board now for, I guess, over 10 years, and it's been good for us. I think it allows us to get our projects highlighted. For example, when we were trying to get Bayou Chene constructed, the call in those days was 2 words: Bayou Chene. And I know Senator Alain, he helped us there a tremendous amount, and he would always say Bayou Chene, Bayou Chene. So, it's important for us to be at CPRA. It's important to be part of CPRA. It's important that we have someone that can say 70-30, Bayou Chene, important projects. Okay, so and being part of CPRA has been, for me, seeing the people on the board. Gordy, awesome. We're lucky to have a leader like Gordy. He's doing good things for all of us, not only St. Mary Parish, but in Terrebonne Parish, and good man for us.
That is one of our biggest relationships is with CPRA. They have been a huge help to St. Mary Levee District since its inception. Always stepped in whenever we needed help, whether it was financially or just working through some of the issues. So that relationship is huge, because we do, some of the calls I took before I walked in here were with guys from CPRA. So working through some problems that they're helping us on.
Seeing where the money's going, right? And that is being spent appropriately. And that's what we want to do. We want to broadcast that not only to the coast, but in cases to the state, so they can see what's taking place out there. You got to draw your line in the sand someplace, even as a state, right? And that's what we're trying to do right now. And it's going well. We're putting a lot of work on the ground. This coming year, we got a $1.9 billion budget, So there's a lot of work going on, a lot of good things taking place at a rapid pace. So we have great opportunity for Terrebonne, Lafourche, and the whole coast. And that's the frame of mind I have now. We still got Morganza going. We still have, the Barry Islands along the coast. But now you have to have a wider view in that, we're trying to save and protect the entire Louisiana coast. And so that's what we're doing. We're making sure to spread around the money that's available and put work on the ground as soon as possible. We've got some great opportunities, but we can't blow it either. We can't rest on what we've done. Right. We have to continue to be creative and do what we've done here for the rest of the coast and continue here.
It's very important to understand that we don't actually receive any direct general funds from the legislature. So the majority of our funding is coming to us in probably 3 different categories. One is state mineral revenues. That's a constitutional dedication to us. Then we've got the money from the BP oil spill that sits in 3 buckets: Restore, NERDA, and NIFWIF. And then we also have the federal revenue through Go Mesa. So those are the 3 kind of big buckets of revenue that comes into us. They're either protected by the state constitution, lawsuit settlements, or by Congress. Beyond that, we are one of the agencies, because we build capital projects, that can go to Department of Administration and ask them for capital outlay or for surplus when we're trying to build our projects. So we do get money from them. We definitely appreciate their support, but we're very protected and sort of insulated from the annual budget making process of our state government, because our revenues are coming from other sources that are dedicated to us.
Last several directors, even Jerome, Chip, Garrett, Michael, Glenn. Of course, I grew up here working with Glenn as an engineer, so knew him, for several decades. And Michael is doing a fantastic job. But yeah, nothing that we do here at the Levy District is done without the assistance of CPRA. So if we weren't on the same page, you wouldn't have seen the stuff be accomplished that has been accomplished. So we can't accomplish it unless we're all working in the same direction. And we've had the luxury of having that support for many years, and I think it's as strong as it's ever been right now.
And we will hear more from Michael Hare, Gordy Dove, Angela Hidalgo, and Mark Prejean later in this program. And after the break, we'll learn more about the humble early days of Crosby Tugs from Corey Keefe. Stay with us here on Louisiana and Beyond.
Sea-Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea-Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities, including driven piles, drill deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea-Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
Now we turn our focus to a local company that began with a single tugboat but now has a large and diverse fleet. Crosby Tugs successfully invested in the people, equipment, and capabilities to keep the region moving.
And Crosby's Director of Business Development, Corey Keefe, talks about the importance to our area and the industry of the necessity of a national energy policy.
What I think that the future looks like for us over here all depends on what's going to go on in the energy sector of this country. You know, as the administration changes, we're having a hard time getting an energy policy for this nation.
An energy policy for this nation is so disjointed that it's not funny. The U.S. is not a good place to make investments into the energy sector because we can't develop an energy policy that has any substantiation. Look, we're competing for assets, drilling rigs, marine equipment, people. We're competing with countries like China that has a 100-year energy program, with the countries out of the Middle East that are contracting goods and services and people for years, 5 years, 10 years. They have legs on their energy programs. And over here in the U.S., as the administration changes, that changes. So if you're standing from an investment standpoint, where would you go spend your money? All right. Well, we got to base our growth on that, and we have to depend on all the developers and the owners and operators of oil and gas, wind and solar, nuclear, hydrogen, whatever, to support what we do. It's all about marine transportation, right? If these things don't come together right, well, then it's a huge problem. What I see us moving into the future in is that there's a lot of development right now of facilities in the U.S. LNG facilities, natural gas producing plants, refineries and all that need upgrading, or some new ones need to be built. And there's a lot of modules that are built all over the world that get delivered that require marine transportation. So when you look at all these things, it's changed a lot from, it's not your grandpa's all fuel no more. It's all about the energy sector in general. One day, and I say this all the time, there's a lot of resistance against renewable energy on wind and all of that. This is like finding out that someone's pregnant. The baby's coming whether you like it or not, and the renewable sector is coming, and we should be planning on being more receptive towards the renewable sector. Just as much attention into oil, gas, nuclear, solar. You can't tell me that we're not smart enough to figure out where's the best place to use all these things. Some places work better than others. So, until we get an energy policy that's supportive of what we're doing, it's going to continue to be a struggle. But it's not that it don't exist. It's there. And you just got to be smart about the way you engage yourself going into the future, but we'll be there.
Corey's thoughts on the matter obviously reflect his position with Crosby Tugs, as well as his respective leadership positions with the North Lafourche Conservation Levee and Drainage District, as well as the Association of Levee Boards of Louisiana. And Corey now shares with us how Kurt Crosby encourages his employees to be involved in service, not only to the industry, but local communities.
Well, Crosby's attitude about all of that is this way. He wants to be involved in public service, but he just really don't have time to do it. But he's got enough people working for him that he's happy to see us do this. All right. Well, I'm on the North Lafourche Levee District, but his son-in-law Brett DeRoche is on the South Lafourche Levee District, and he works for us too. Joe Caldwell, who was our manager of the dredge division, is on the Port Commission for Terrebonne Parish. So he sees that his understanding of the importance of us being involved in everything that he's doing, that he could keep at arm's distance, because he trusts the people that are doing these things. Now, from what I do, look, I'm constantly pushing for reform in the Gulf of Mexico for drilling and all of that, because I understand that drilling equals production, production equals GOMESA funds equals money spent on coastal protection and restoration. It's a huge circle for me, and he knows that. And he knows that if we don't have all of these things, we don't have a market to market our equipment to. The people who are depending on their job, they don't have a job. And if we don't have the infrastructure to keep them here, they can't live here. So it's a big circle, and you have to have all these things. You have to have some interest in the ports. We have a shipyard in the port. We have all these things, so it's not just, hey, look, don't use my time to do that, because he's not like that. He really has given us the latitude to be able to function and doing what we're doing, and expects for us to be able to be involved, and expects us to be productive. And I think that you could see with all the stuff being built around us right now that we're not letting them down. So, or letting the people down, or letting anybody down.
And it is obvious from Corey's testimony what makes Crosby Tugs and its affiliated companies successful. Strong and visionary leadership, trust in their teams, and the freedom to get the job done while supporting their local communities. And coming up after the break, we will hear from Michael Hare, as well as Gordy Dove, Angela Hidalgo, and Mark Prejean as we continue our look at CPRA. Stay with us.
Edison Schwest Offshore is more than a fleet. We're an interconnected network of vessels, logistics hubs, and a fast-growing workforce of over 19,000 dedicated professionals across the globe. From the United States to Brazil and the Middle East to Southeast Asia, Schwest provides cutting-edge solutions to a worldwide community. And in the face of evolving demands across the industry, we are committed to operating as the best in the world.
At GIS, putting people first has always been our thing. As we always say, our people are our most important assets. With over 20 office locations, we deliver innovative solutions across 4 key markets: energy, industrial, infrastructure, and power. Our 4 main service groups house over 20 service capabilities, supporting projects from start to finish. We're proud of our legacy and even more excited about what's ahead.
Welcome to Bollinger Shipyards. For nearly a century, our family of skilled shipbuilders has driven innovation and excellence, creating some of the world's most advanced vessels. Today, we are at the forefront of our industry and redefining the future of naval warfare. At Bollinger, we turn challenges into opportunities and careers into legacies. Here, you're part of something bigger. Any yard can build a ship. We don't just build ships. Together, we're building the future.
When it comes to marine towing, Crosby Tugs has over 40 years of experience. We have the know-how to safely assist ships into and out of their berths, escort oil tankers quickly and safely, tow ships, respond to fuel spills, and work in extreme conditions. Founded in 1977 by Vinton and Kurt Crosby, we are one of the largest privately owned marine transportation businesses in the industry. If it's on the water, let Crosby be your transporter.
Sea Level Construction is a heavy civil contractor that provides turnkey services for the industrial and marine industries. From building large-scale infrastructure to installing the foundation for expansion projects, Sea Level and its family of companies offer a wide range of capabilities including driven piles, drilled deep foundations, structural fabrication, structural concrete, marine construction, barge maintenance and repair, site work development, heavy equipment repair services, and electrical services. Call Sea Level Construction to set the foundations for your next big project.
Welcome back to Louisiana and Beyond and our look at CPRA.
And one of CPRA's single largest projects currently underway has long been part of the master plan, but gained increased focus in recent months.
When CPRA and the state canceled the Two River Diversion Project several months ago, the focus shifted to land bridges.
And Michael Hare explains the details of that shift.
So with the mid-area cancellation, those dollars come with strings attached to it. So we've got in the NERDA bucket about 8 different restoration features that we could do. Land bridges are clearly one of them. That's the direction we're going with those dollars. The NIFWIF dollars that were tied to it really come with only two categories. It could be either a diversion or a barrier island, and you're seeing us move forward the barrier island. But what I really want to remind people is that we're not doing anything new or different. We are really continuing to invest in practices and projects that we have had a long-standing commitment to. You've seen them in previous master plans. There's a significant amount of work that's already being done, and this money is actually allowing us to complete a lot of projects, as well as bring that flood fight closer to the coast by continuing to reinvest in our barrier islands and this lower land bridge, which again has been in the master plan for quite a long time, but bringing some of these protection features closer to the coast so we can provide better protection and better habitat and better restoration to the interior.
I said, you know what? If it's ever the time to move on this, it's time to move on these land bridges and all. And then we started, and then the governor came back and said, look, the Barrett area diversion, I want facts, figures, and backup, and give me a report. Hire engineers, hire CPAs, whatever you need. Besides all the projects we want to do, I need to know what's going on there. I need to know everything, and that's where we started looking into that, because that's been very controversial. And so, like I said, the governor's talked to me 5 times, and I think Tony was there. All 5 times, Tony was right there also, and he said, why you want to do this? And I said, look, I don't want to sound corny, but I think either we save the coast now or we never will. And you're not going to save this coast without building the land bridges, without fortifying your perimeter, which is the barrier islands, without sustaining it with segmented breakwater rocks.
Whether it's land bridges or segmented breakwater rocks, CPRA is ultimately responsible for the overall comprehensive master plan of statewide coastal projects.
And yet another new wrinkle is the funding aspect of these projects, as Angela Hidalgo explains.
So these new different CPRA-funded master plan projects are now coming to the local levee districts to be able to build and implement is just tremendous for us because it's different. CPRA used to be the lead to construct them, and now they're shifting some of that through Gordy's leadership and the governor's leadership, shifting some of that to the local levee districts just because we've proven that we can deliver projects. I'm very fortunate that I'm able to lead the efforts that they have tasked me with them being in the positions that they're in. Tony's been the chairman of the Terrebonne Levee District for 22 years now, 20 years, 21 years, something like that. And he has done amazing work. His leadership with Gordy's relationship with the governor now, but not only that, having, Gordy comes from the state legislature too. So he did a lot for us when he was a state representative that allowed us to be able to implement these features. So him transitioning from that role to the chairman of CPRA, and then our great relationship in the past with CPRA. I mean, they have funded these projects with us hand in hand, dollar for dollar, together. So we have literally built all this together. So when he goes from one position in state government to a parish president to a CPRA chairman, I'm sure it's a challenge for him not to prioritize Terrebonne over other parishes, which he really has done a great job at Louisiana as a whole, but then having Tony in the position he's in, their relationship with Jeff Landry, and then his relationship with the President of the United States, and Mike Johnson being a graduate from LSU, who's the Speaker of the House, and Steve Scalise, and and Cassidy and Kennedy, and all these legislators that are in key positions in both the state and local governments as well as the federal government has just been. It's been super refreshing, and it's just opened all kind of opportunities for us in so much that we've changed the way that we're actually going after funding for some of these projects. So it's really unique and interesting, and it's an exciting time to be a levee district director from Terrebonne.
So the trust built is basically on delivery. I mean, you do what you say you're going to do at the end of the day. I mean, Louisiana has a culture. If you give somebody your word, you should deliver. And I mean, for us, just the world is in a very litigious environment, hiding behind paperwork. I think one of our advantages, in our relationship with Gordy and the rest of the CPRA team has been that we can still operate on a handshake, and they can feel confident that we're going to deliver. And, you go back to it, we've got some of the best minds in the business when it comes to infrastructure, engineering. We've been a part of or designed, most of the levee system and the flood protection systems, specifically around this tri-parish area. And, you know, we take a lot of pride in it. Not only that we deliver great work, but I mean, it affects our local communities. Something happens, something fails, it's our families that are at stake. This is not some international company just trying to run in here and make a profit. We live here, we set roots here, and we need to make sure it's done right.
And thank you for joining us for this 2-week exploration of the state's Coastal Protection and Restoration Authority.
And we thank our guests, our sponsors, and lawmakers for their support of the program. And we'll have even more coming up next week on Louisiana and Beyond.
Louisiana and Beyond has been brought to you in part by Edison Schwest Offshore, Bollinger Shipyards, Crosby Tugs LLC, Grand Isle Shipyard, Nichols State University, and Sea Level Construction.